Tech for Senior, episode 85. It is November the 8th, 2021. It is 73 people showed up on time this morning. And we had also, we have a bunch of people over on our YouTube feed as well. So welcome everybody to the show. I hope all your devices change time. I know that I was up at 3 in the morning to see if my watch changed time and my all my Echo devices changed time and all my devices. But you know, everything in the, even my computers, everything all changed time perfectly except for the microwave and the stove. So hey, technology triumphs, right? So hopefully, yes. So we have a busy show for you today. Lots of exciting things happening. For those of you who are over on YouTube, the show is a little bit different. We of course broadcast this on Zoom for an hour, and on YouTube we broadcast it for about 50 minutes. Then what happens is just before the music segment, we stop our YouTube broadcast and then move into the question and answer period. So if you are over on YouTube and you want to come over and participate in the question and answer, that's just fine. Come on over. We probably have lots of room today for you. Then we have the question and answer period for 20 minutes. And then we have a bit of a pause and let everyone have a bathroom break. And then we're going to have the YouTube premiere feature. Now we have about each week we have around 8 to 10 people watch it live, but at the end of the week there's about 50 people who watched it, which is great. You know what the goal of this is that we're retaping the information from the previous episodes, and this I think was the previous episode a year ago, and it's for your clubs. And I don't know whether it's you guys that are watching it because it goes out on the general YouTube distribution, and I don't really know which of the 50 people are watching it, but it is set up for you and your clubs to use for shows and that you want to use. Today, of course, Dewey will be talking on a print-friendly extension. Hewie is going to be talking on, I'm having a seniors moment. I just said it in the promo. What was it? What did you talk about a year ago? What was it on the iPhone, the software? Darn it. Anyway, I'll look it up before the end of the show. And then I'm going to be talking on the Echo show. It's all ready to go, and that will be at half past the hour. Let me introduce everyone today. Hewie, you're a famous guy. How the heck are you doing? Tell us about your award that you won.
I run the Central Florida Computer Society Windows Special Interest Group, or WinSig, once a month. In fact, it's this coming Sunday will be the next one. The newsletter will go out later this week, and that's the one that came in first for the e-bulletin. I've been sending it out for years, and I've now added the main meeting and the Mike Ungerman sends me the notice on the Linux SIG, so it's become basically the newsletter for CFCS because we don't have one. And then the STUG group, the Sarasota Technology User Group, their bulletin is second, and what they do there is several times a week send out a notice with all the events that are going on, classes and forums and meetings and so on that are available for STUG members. And what's going on, and that goes out several times a week. But on Friday they call it, if I can't remember what it's called, something about this week. And there's usually some headlines of some technology stuff that's posted on the website. Yeah, trending. Yep, thank you, Marshall. And then Marshall, and the trending comes from Marshall's website. Marshall is our webmaster. So both groups. First and second, and we're very pleased.
Well, congratulations! That's really good. I knew you were a great guy anyway, but that just confirms what we already knew, right? And then Bob, where's Bob? Where the heck did Bob go?
Haven't gone anywhere.
Oh, you're right there. You're right under there. Yeah. The problem is you got a blue shirt and a blue background there. It's sort of Yeah. So anyway, how are you doing? Don't tell me about the vacuum. I want that to be a secret, right? You got to keep that. You got to keep that quiet. But how'd your week go?
Good,
Good.
good. Weather's still nice here. Thank
Yeah.
God, let it stay that way. I'm one of
Right.
those people that loves summer all year long, but
Right.
it doesn't happen in New Mexico.
There you go. There you go. Great. And then we've got Dewey. Dewey, you were out riding your lawnmower, cleaning up the leaves, I hear.
Oh, yes, I was involved with that on Saturday. Got to do it again Tuesday or tomorrow, I guess, because we're getting a big storm on Wednesday. It's going to rain, so I'm going to clean up my yard before.
Very good. How's the barbecue? Are you cooking up steaks? Are you still the
yes,
infrared?
fact,
Is that still working okay?
You bet. In fact, yesterday I surprised my sweetie by going shopping after church, and I bought some Angus New York strips and all the other ingredients for a good lunch, and we just had a magnificent lunch yesterday. It was great.
Excellent. Well, that's good. That's good. Too bad I can't come over for lunch. It's just that's a bit of a bummer. Anyway, Ray, you got snow yet, or what's happening down?
No. It's what is it? It's 63 degrees outside, so it's
Really?
beautiful weather. I agree with Bob. This is the best time of the year for me. The weather stays mild, but it's not hot. It's not cold. It's just perfect.
There you go. All right. And then Bill, you're a little bit worried. You said earlier today that the Oklahoma may get some ice.
Well, not ice, but like Ray and Bob, our weather is still very mild. So all the leaves are still in the trees.
Mhm.
And if there is an unexpected ice storm, then all our limbs will come crashing down because of the weight.
Right.
But I don't think there's anything in the forecast right now. But what I was going to say, I was amazed by everybody was talking about the time change in their animals.
Yeah.
My little dog apparently doesn't know the difference because he slept as long as I did this morning. And matter of fact, he's still sleeping. He's laying here kind of sprawled out like a. Let me see if I can.
Can we look at him or what?
Yeah.
There you go.
When I come back in in reincarnation, I want to be Bill's dog.
That's
Bill,
what everybody says.
Bill, how old is he?
He's 16 months now, I think.
Oh, okay.
He's still a puppy.
Yeah.
Well,
Very good.
almost. He's getting to be an adult dog, but yeah, he's quite the character. But we got up about 9 o'clock this morning, and he didn't know whether the time had changed or not. And same here because of with your smart devices, the time all changes, so you don't really realize that it's going to be different.
So I also want to introduce Marcia. Marcia, do you want to? I don't know if you got your camera on. Can you say hello? Marcia, of course, was kind enough this week to make a segment for us today. So you'll be seeing her minute for us today. I want to thank you, Marcia.
You're very welcome.
That was
And
great.
I'm doing well. I had surgery on both hands this morning. So I'm home recuperating, and I'm happy that I could join everyone.
You're not joining us from the hospital like we have other people that do.
No, I was able to come home.
You were able to come home. Well,
Yes.
listen, Marcia, I want to thank you so much for doing what you did. I know that everyone's going to enjoy the segment today. We're going to play that. And I just want to let everyone else know that if you are interested in participating in Tech for Senior, you want to do a segment, then that's great. We do have time constraints, so if you can pre-record it, fine. Or if you're a good talker and you can only talk for 10 minutes, that's great. But we really would like you to. But that's just great. If anyone else wants to participate or make a video or talk about something, please let us know and we'll fit you in. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy Marcia's talk today. So that's great. Thanks for doing it, Marcia.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Bob, are you ready to roll?
I think I'm ready to roll. At least
All
I
right.
try to be ready to roll.
Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending November 5th, 2021. Facebook shuts down facial recognition. In the coming weeks, Meta will shut down the Facebook recognition system on Facebook as part of a company-wide move to limit the use of facial recognition in our product,
Very good day.
wrote Meta VP of Artificial Intelligence, Jerome Vicente, in a blog post. This move is probably not related to protecting users' privacy, commented Avast Louis Carones. It most likely just doesn't fit in with their business plans anymore. Maybe the fact that we won't be using our real faces in the metaverse they are designing has had an influence too. While Meta is dialing down the facial rec use on Facebook, the company does plan to continue developing the tech for identity verification. For more on this story, see CNN Business. Scan your eyes for free WorldCoin cryptocurrency. In an ambitious project aimed at giving out free cryptocurrency to 1 billion people over the next 2 years, WorldCoin has distributed about 30 iris scanning devices called orbs to 12 countries in South Africa, Europe, and Asia. The orbs take photos of users' eyes and convert them into individual codes that can then be used to claim the free digital tokens. WorldCoin has not said how much money each new user will receive, but the plan is to deliver hundreds more in the immediate future, slowly building up to distributing 4,000 orbs every month. For more on this story, see Ars Technica. FBI says ransomware gangs look for mergers and acquisitions. In a notification released this week, the FBI warned private industries that ransomware gangs were increasingly targeting companies involved in significant time-sensitive financial events, such as mergers and acquisitions. After infecting the companies with malware, these gangs perform initial reconnaissance to find non-publicly available information in the company's files. Then the gangs use that information as leverage to get the victim to pay, threatening to make the data public, which would in turn hurt the ongoing merger or acquisition. For more, see ZDNet. 2 individuals sentenced for providing bulletproof hosting. The U.S. Department of Justice reported that 2 Eastern European men were sentenced in Michigan for providing bulletproof hosting to cybercriminals. Bulletproof hosting services are servers that allow clients to engage in illegal activities like megacart attacks and other cyber attacks. Over the course of many years, the defendants facilitated the transactional criminal activity of a vast network of cybercriminals throughout the world by providing them a safe haven to anonymize their criminal activity, said Special Agent Timothy Waters of the FBI's Detroit field office. Pavel Stasi, 30, of Estonia, was sentenced to 24 months in prison, and Alexander Gordimov, 33, of Lithuania, was sentenced to 48 months. Scammers lie in wait on Craigslist vacation rentals. After an eager young couple showed up at her door claiming to have rented her home on Craigslist, Valerie Kumra of Bodega Bay, California, checked the popular classified ad site and found her house and many others she recognized in the neighborhood wrongly listed for rent. Scammers had pulled photos from other sites like Zillow and Vrbo to create phony rental ads where they would require prospective renters to pay by bank transfer. Since that night, Valerie has scanned Craigslist at least once a week to flag false ads. "I will never stop," she said. "It's a justice issue." Read the whole story at SF Gate. Yahoo pulls out of China, citing challenging environment. In recognition of the increasingly challenging business and legal environment in China, Yahoo's suite of services will no longer be accessible from mainland China as of November 1st, the company said in a statement. It said it remains committed to the rights of our users and a free and open internet. Yahoo is the latest foreign tech company to exit China. Google gave up several years ago, and Microsoft's professional networking platform LinkedIn said last month it would shutter its Chinese site, replacing it with a job board instead. The departure illustrates the choices internet companies face in a huge potential market, but one where the government requires them to censor content and keywords deemed politically sensitive or inappropriate. Read more at AP News. Android users need to uninstall these 151 apps immediately. A collection of 151 scam apps have been discovered and removed from the Google Play Store, but Android users need to check they don't have any of them installed or did in the past. Avast has dubbed it the ultimate SMS campaign because the first scam app the firm discovered in its investigation was Ultima Keyboard 3D Pro, and it consists of 151 fake apps that have been downloaded over 10.5 million times in more than 80 different countries. These apps disguise themselves as legitimate tools across multiple app categories, including custom keyboards, QR code scanners, video and photo editors, spam call blockers, camera filters, and games. However, they all ultimately have the same aim at signing users up for premium SMS services. For more on this and the list of the apps that need to be removed, see PC Mag. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. Avast researcher Jakub Vavra recently found fraudulent sites posing as National Postal Service sites in Germany, Austria, the UK, Belarus, Czech Republic, Russia, and Slovakia, as well as retail shops from the Ukraine and Russia. So how do people end up downloading leaseware apps in the first place? Read up as we shed more light on the problem and answer this question. Just follow the link below. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Bob. That was great. Bad guy's still at work, I hear.
I don't want to quit. They want me to keep working.
They want you to keep going. All right. Well, thanks so much. Now the next segment is done by Dewey, and this is really appropriate. This is exactly a lot of controversy that's happened this week. Thank you, Dewey, for doing this to straighten this out. Let's have a look. This is going to be really interesting. I'll share this.
Good morning, friends. I'm Dewey, and my Tech Talk topic today is Google, Roku, and Amazon annual fall spat. By the way, my background is a pretty Minnesota scene I snapped yesterday morning on the way home from church. Google's YouTube TV began streaming live TV in selected U.S. cities on April 5th, 2017. I signed up for YouTube TV when the service became available in the Twin Cities, Minnesota on July 20th, 2017, about 3.5 months later. I had to use my computer, tablet, or smartphone to watch it. Later, I bought a Chromecast streaming device, which enabled me to cast YouTube TV from my tablet or phone to my big TV. This worked okay, but it wasn't particularly convenient because if you remember, those old Chromecasts didn't have any remote control. After hearing rumors, I was really ecstatic when YouTube TV app appeared on my TV's Roku streamer on February 5th, 2018. I was so excited, remember it well. I'm sure most of you are well aware of the spat that's been going on since last April between Roku and YouTube TV. It's been covered by many news services, but I found that recent coverage by TechCrunch.com was exceptional. Here are some details from their article. Roku shared a progress update in late October on the ongoing contract dispute with Google related to its attempt to renew the carriage agreement for Google's live TV streaming service, YouTube TV. Though its partnership agreement has a termination date of December 9th, YouTube told TechCrunch.com that existing users on existing Roku devices will still be able to use both the YouTube TV app and the YouTube app. However, new Roku owners won't be able to download either of the apps, it said. Earlier this year, Roku had revealed details of its contract dispute, saying that Google had been asking for special treatment with regard to how its services are integrated into Roku's operating system. While the agreement under discussion is mainly related to YouTube TV, Google was also asking for preferential ranking of YouTube content in Roku's search results and permission to override default settings when the YouTube app is being used. For example, if a YouTube user used a voice search to ask for music, Google wanted YouTube Music to play the request, even if the customer had set up Pandora as their preferred music app. Roku alleged that Google was asking for more data on Roku customers than it provides other developers. And Roku also said that Google threatened to increase the hardware specification requirements for YouTube TV, which of course would ensure that Roku's lower and more competitively priced streaming players would not be able to access it. Google has consistently pushed back on Roku's statement, saying that it had not made requests to access user data or interfere with search results. Kind of think somebody's not being truthful. Google also shamed Roku for turning to customers in an attempt to sway the negotiations in its favor and said Google's requests were about providing a good user experience. Well, that's so nice. Roku in turn said it had simply updated its customers, informing them that no progress has yet been made in negotiations and alerted them that Google could later take more punitive action if it chose to do so. That Roku would warn customers of the possibility of removal that even Google says isn't yet happening is an indication of how dirty these negotiations have gotten, TechCrunch claimed. Roku's arguments seem to largely boil down to what sort of rights it has to dictate how its own software works as the platform provider. That means determining how search results are displayed and how apps are meant to behave according to its own guidelines. It may be noted that these are the same sort of rules that Google makes for their own platforms. Now, although Roku is the platform in this scenario, it doesn't put itself on the side of tech giants who are accused of abusing their monopoly power. Rather, Google paints itself as the victim, having to bow to Google's demands or risk losing Google's must-have apps like YouTube and YouTube TV. And of course, Google competes directly with Roku with its Chromecast streaming device, which now, of course, has a remote control. Since our negotiations with Roku earlier this year, we've continued to work with them to find a resolution that benefits our mutual users, a YouTube spokesman said. Google responded, Roku has once again chosen to make unproductive and baseless claims rather than try to work constructively with us. Since we haven't been able to continue our conversations in good faith, our partnership for all new Roku devices will unfortunately end on December 9th. Existing users of YouTube and YouTube TV are not impacted, they add, which we knew already. NextTV.com reported last Monday that Roku's agreement to carry Amazon's IMDb TV app will expire at the end of 2021. As with Roku's spat with Google, there are plenty of complicating factors. Now, IMDb is an AVOD. That means advertising-based video on demand type of app. Roku downplayed it, saying, we have renewal discussions with dozens of partners each year in the normal course of business, and these are focused on achieving mutually beneficial agreements that provide our customers with the best possible user experience and value. Yep. A significant complicating factor is that Amazon bundles IMDb TV with its much more compelling Amazon Prime Video app. Now, Roku, with its 56 plus million users, might not shed many of them by losing IMDb TV. However, not having Amazon's Prime Video app would definitely hurt their business. During last year's negotiations between the two, Amazon pushed for detailed viewing habits about Roku subscribers' general viewing habits, which of course would benefit Amazon.com's algorithms that increase their sales. Well, I'm going to let those folks fight it out, but I'm going to stick with this story. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day.
Well, thank you so much, Dewey. That was great. You know, like that's a big deal. Like I watch on my television, I watch YouTube, not YouTube TV, but YouTube all the time. And of course, I have TCL TVs, which has a Roku device inside. Now, I'm assuming that it's going to continue to work, but wow, this is really crazy. That's going to be a big one. Where's Dewey? Where are you?
I'm right here. Yes,
Are you-
your TCL TV will continue to bring you the Roku will work just fine. No problem.
Yeah. Are you going to keep us updated on this story? Because it's
Well,
it's
if something breaks, I will.
yeah, because it's obviously something we want some resolve on and figure out what's going to happen.
Right.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thanks, Dewey. Thanks for doing that. That was really great. Okay. Now, Marcia, let me play. You'll all be interested in this. And Marcia has put this up on YouTube as well. I'll put the link into the notes as well. So let me do a share.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that can be true. But if you have no story to go along with your picture, then it's 1,000 words of the viewers. It's their story, their experiences, what they interpret out of the picture. But if you'll take just a few moments with your pictures to make a few changes, crop the picture a little bit, add a little bit of description, then you can tell your story and tell the story of those you love. For example, here I've taken that very same picture, cropped it, enlarged it, and if it's going to be just for the screen, it's perfectly fine to enlarge it because it's not pixelated or anything like that it might be in printing. But I've enlarged it. I've added a text box. I gave it the text box a color and gave it some transparency so that you could still see a little bit of the background, but there was just enough contrast that you could read the story. You can even add a call out, a thought call out or a thought bubble to give a little bit more insight into your picture or add funny comments. Anything that you wanted to do to personalize your story that you want to share with whatever group you want to share it with. Here I'll show you a few of the things that I did to the previous slide, and then we'll go on to create a photo book, insert pictures and videos, narrate your story, and then how to upload it to YouTube. We're just scratching the surface. There's so much that you could do within PowerPoint to document your memories. For this picture, I double-click the picture, and that opens up the picture format ribbon. Click on the crop tool in the size grouping, and then you can crop it to however you want it. I wanted to leave some room over on the right so that I could put my box, but you can do it however you want it. Then I click crop, and it is cropped my picture. Now what we want to do is enlarge it so that it is the same size as a slide. There are tools that will help you do it automatically. Bright Slide is one of them. But what I'm going to do is come to the corner and make sure that I'm dragging from the corner and enlarge it just so it at least covers that slide and that the people are are within this slide. You can also hold down shift and that will maintain while you're dragging, and that will maintain the ratio, but doing it from the corner is fine. Now we can check to see what that looks like. There we go, that's just fine. Then we go to insert. Anytime we want to put anything into the slide, check out the insert ribbon. We'll click on the text box and just drag that where we want it. Go to our shape format. Then in our shape fill, I'm going to go to more colors. And that's so I have the transparency option. You can pick any color you want. It just doesn't matter. I'm going to do a light gray, and then I'm going to change the transparency to maybe 39. And you can make it more transparent, less transparent, and then you type your story into this. Type your story into the text box. When you have your story all typed in there, then you can play with the text to see what color you like. That's right here, text fill. And you can play with whatever color. That doesn't show it very well. Green, of course, even if that did show up, and you just have to reduce your transparency if you really wanted that color. Once you've decided on a color, then you can change the type size. With it selected, you can see these 4 sizing dots, positions. So I know the text box is selected instead of just clicking in here. Then if it's blinking inside, you don't have the box selected. You want the whole box selected. And then if you hold down the control key and then the right bracket, and that's just 2 over from the P. What that does is it visually allows you to see how large you're making your type. Every time you press that right bracket, it's going to take your font up 1 size, which you also get if you go to the home ribbon and right here, increase font size. But I like the shortcut of control right bracket. And then if you want a call out, you would go to insert shapes, and there's all kinds of call outs down here under call outs. I kind of like this circle one, but this rounded squared off one, that gives you more space as well. So you draw that in, and you see this little gold dot right there? That's the tail. So you can drag that down to his mouth. You may want to move that over away from his mom and just drag that to his mouth. And then I double clicked and I can type whatever you want in the call out, and you can make that bigger, and you can go back to your shape fill and you can change it to any color that you want. Again, change your text. And the reason when I did that, again, you want to make sure that you choose the box instead of having your cursor blinking inside of the box. That will change all of the text without having to select it. Then you could animate that, click on animations and choose your animation. And if you're doing this as a slideshow that you won't be in person at showing it, then you would want to choose your technique, and then instead of click, you would want to do it automatically. This says with previous, but I might want to delay, so let them read this story and then come in here and it doesn't, the bubble doesn't pop in until about 10 seconds after this slide has shown. Then you have a much more personalized picture with the story that it doesn't matter when someone sees it, long after I'm gone, or if people don't know us or anything like that, they at least have some kind of story to go along with the picture when you have shared your story with the picture. There are many life events like birthday, engagement, retirement, and all kinds of other parties, weddings, funerals, or even informational kiosks for sales or nonprofit groups that can benefit from photo albums within PowerPoint. Once you have your purpose, go to the Insert ribbon, which is where you always go anytime that you want to put anything into a slide or insert it into the slide. Go to the Images group, then click on the drop-down arrow by photo album and choose New Photo Album. Click on the File/Disk button and browse to your folder with the pictures that you want to use. Select individual pictures by holding down the Control key and clicking on them. Or you can select all by clicking on any one picture and then by pressing the Control on Windows or Command on a Mac, A for Select All, and then click on Insert All, and your pictures will be listed within this photo album window. There's some editing and ordering options within the window, and it would be worth your time to explore them. There are so many options that we could choose, but today we are focusing on fast and simple. So we're just going to accept the defaults and click on Create. Know that you don't have to have the best photos to do this. You're looking for memories, not photo shoots. Each photo will be fit to the best size for the slide. You can use the previous techniques that we talked about for cropping and enlarging, adding text boxes, adding callouts, anything, animation, anything that you want to do. You can format the background or use the design options and then add your text boxes. You can change the order of the slides in the slide sorter view. So you don't have to decide all of that up front. You have all those options. Running presentations, I changed the transitions to advance the slide after so many seconds, depending upon your content. I'm going to make this one just 2 seconds, so you don't have to wait for them. In another video, we'll talk about narrating and timing your slides. For now, go to Slideshow, set up Slideshow. There are many options to choose from. My most common for self-running shows include browse by an individual window and loop continuously until escape. A shortcut to start the show is F5 on your function keys, or you can use the tools under the slideshow or to the left of the zoom slider in the bottom right-hand corner of PowerPoint. I chose these particular pictures to show you that you don't need perfect pictures. Every person that you know or don't know has endless stories to tell. Don't wait for perfect pictures to document the ones you want to remember or to pass along to others. In another video, we'll show you how to export this PowerPoint as an MP4, upload it to YouTube or Facebook, share on any of your social media, or show at a church or any other place that you want to share this wonderful creation that you've created. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to part 2. That was great. I use PowerPoint a lot, but I haven't used the photo book section of that, and so I'm excited. I'm gonna go and try that. That's really good. Thanks so much, Marcia, for doing that.
Tech for Seniors present the website of the week with Hewie Poplock.
This week's website of the week is a twofer. We're going to cover informed delivery for the US and my mailbox for Canada. Here are the links. What is informed delivery by USPS? Digitally preview your mail and manage your packages scheduled to arrive soon. Informed delivery allows you to view grayscale images of the exterior, address side of the letter-sized mail pieces, and track packages in one convenient location. The images are only provided for letter-sized mail pieces that are processed through the USPS's automated equipment. Well, my mailbox notifies you of mail headed to your registered address or community mailbox. This includes both letters and promotional mail with packages to come in a future release. By downloading the My Mailbox app, you can choose to view your incoming mail through the app, in daily email updates, or both. The USPS, or United States Postal Service, the informed delivery login looks like this. All you need, once you've set up your account, is your username and password, and you can sign in. Once you do, you'll see how many mail pieces you have for the last week and how many packages. So let's go to Thursday, where I had 4, and you're going to see 3 of them there. And at the bottom says that there's a mail piece for which we do not currently have an image that is included in Thursday's mail. Here's a close-up of the 3 pieces of mail, so I have a pretty good idea what to expect. Now, in my community, we have community mailboxes. They're not at each home, so that we have to go there. So I may not go there for a couple of days because I've seen what is sitting in the mailbox. Now, when you look at packages, it will tell you not only what's expected, but what was delivered. As you can see, I had several packages. It tells me exactly what time. If a package is expected on November 9th, I can track on Monday this website and look to see when it's delivered. Once it's delivered, then I can go down to the mailbox and pick up my mail and the package. Now, notice that the one due is in transit. Let's take a look at one of those packages and the route that it took. This was an item that was already delivered, but you can see that it was delivered on November 1st. It started out October 26th. It started out in Busfield, Michigan, then went to Detroit, then to Memphis, then to Tampa, then to Sarasota, and then to Bradenton. Took quite a trip. Some other things that you can do with informed delivery. To sign up for informed delivery, step 1 is you create an account. You use your personal USPS.com account or sign up for one. Step 2, you protect your privacy and personal information by verifying your identity and address. They actually send you a letter with a code that you'll have to verify your identity. That way they know have access to that mailbox. And then you can receive notifications from any smartphone, tablet, or computer. And you can sign up for free. Here's what it's like to sign up. Not much. It asks for your address. Of course, they need that. You then verify your address. If it's not exactly the way the post office requires it, you have a choice of a couple of ways to change that. You can then continue, and then you verify the address. And then you also have to, of course, click that you've read and understand the terms and conditions. And then when you click at it, it's ready to go. So again, you create an account with your username and password. And then there are some security questions. Then you add some contact information. You can get communications from the Postal Service and their partners, and you agree for that. As a final part of this, you can get a Daily Digest email notification. You can get separate email sent to you, so your household receives a letter-sized mail that's processed through the United States Post Office. You'll get an email. Notifications are not sent on days when there's no mail to be delivered. You can specify what you want to get notifications for. Now, if you're in Canada, you have to go to the Canadian Postal website. It's not evident because it's still in beta, but to get the My Mailbox FAQ, this is the website. So what is your mailbox? In Canada, you sign up for My Mailbox today to see your mail before it arrives. When we spot new mail headed your way, we'll notify you of the sender and the number of mail pieces. Get a head start on your mail before it arrives to your registered address or community mailbox. So, how to get started using My Mailbox? Follow the steps below, and if you run into any challenges, contact them at canadapost.ca. If you already have the Canada Post app on your device and you download the My Mailbox beta app, it will replace the existing Canada Post app. Step 1, download the Test Flight app. On your iOS, and this is only available on iOS currently during beta, the download button will take you to the Test Flight page where you'll follow directions. In Step 1, Get Test Flight, you will download the Test Flight app. Then return to the Test Flight page and follow Step 2, Join the beta. Tap on the Start Testing, which will open to the Test Flight app and allow you to accept and install my mailbox. Keep Test Flight on your device. Once you have my mailbox set up on your phone, Test Flight will keep you in the loop as updates for the My Mailbox app become available. Remember, this is only available right now on iOS. Step 2, sign in and create your Canada Post account. The app will ask you to sign into your Canada Post account. If you don't already have one, you'll be asked to create one in a few easy steps. Step 3, find out if your mailing address is eligible. My Mailbox is growing to new areas across the country. However, it's currently only available for certain mailing addresses. Sign up for My Mailbox to find out whether your address is eligible. If it's not, you'll be added to our wait list. We will reach out when your address becomes eligible. Step 4, get consent from the other members of your household. My Mailbox sends you notifications about mail arriving at your address, whether the recipient is you or someone else in your household. As part of the registration process, Canada Post will send a notice in the mail giving everyone in the household the chance to consent to the service. Learn more through our terms and conditions. Step 5, start checking your mail through My Mailbox. Within 1 to 2 business days, you'll receive the updates on mail coming to your address. Step 6, choose how to see your mail through the app, your email inbox, or both. My Mailbox updates are available through the app as well as daily emails, so you can decide how you prefer to be notified of your incoming mail. Wonder what's in your mailbox? A sneak peek at your mail, inbox, or app, and mail that fits your routine. What types of mail are included in My Mailbox? Through My Mailbox, they'll update you with incoming mail from types of organizations and businesses that send account updates, statements, bills, checks, and contracts. We'll also notify you of mail containing promotions and special offers. Note, certain types of mail are not part of this beta, but are planned for a future release, including packages, flyers, magazines, and oversized mail. Be an active participant. Keep your account up to date. For example, if you move to a new home while you're using the beta, you can update your address at any time in the My Mailbox settings. During the My Mailbox beta, we'll be looking for ways to improve the service. We'll send you an email giving you an opportunity to complete a survey. If you're interested in sharing additional feedback over the course of the beta, we want to hear from you. Again, here are the links. And that's it. Thank you. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Tech for Seniors present the website of the week with Hewie Poplock.
I like your voice.
And there we go.
Who have you got working for you now to do your?
I
intro?
hired somebody from overseas.
Hey, that's really interesting, eh? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I started to do it just for the U.S. Because I use it. And I said, well, let me search and see if there's something like that in Canada. So, because so many of you are in Canada.
Yeah.
And I found that there is a beta. So it may not be available for a lot of you now,
Right.
but at least you know that it's coming.
It's coming. Yeah. Pretty cool.
I use it for a lot more than just receiving or knowing what I'm getting in the mail.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other features that are part of it here in the US.
And I've been using it for about 5 years because
Yeah.
I have a post office box, and if there's nothing waiting for me, I don't have to make that extra.
Oh, that's
trip.
great. Yeah, I
Yep.
forgot about that. That'd be a
Yep.
good idea. Yeah, exactly. Huh. Wow. Okay. Just before we get you going, Ray, let me say goodbye to our YouTube people over on YouTube. Thanks so much for coming. If you want, there's about 75 people, so we've got room over here. If you want to pop over to our Zoom meeting prior to and participate in the QA, you're welcome to pop over. We will be stopping the YouTube now and then continuing on. Please, we'll see you again same time, same place in another week. Please remember, we have Tech for Senior Live this week on Thursday, so we'll be having lots of fun with that. Ray, are you ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
You got it. And I'll just stop the.
Okay,
stop
you need
the-
to allow me to,
Did I not give you, we'll make you co-host. There we go.
thank
You got it.
Okay, I went to a garden party. So the Ozzie and Harriet Nelson family hold a unique place in music history. You know how I always like to give a little bit of a trivia on my presentations. The Nelson family, they are the only family to have a #1 hit song for 3 successive generations. Actually, it started with Ozzie Nelson when he was a band leader back in 1934, had a song called And Then Some that reached #1. Ricky Nelson had many hits, but 2 of them went to #1, Poor Little Fool and Traveling Man. And then Ricky had 2 sons, twin sons, Matthew and Gunnar. They call themselves the Nelson Band, and they had a #1 hit in 1990 with Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection. So from a music perspective, Ricky Nelson was easily the best known, playing himself in first a radio sitcom, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and that transitioned to a TV series that ran from 1952 to 1966. And believe it or not, today is still one of the longest running sitcoms in television history. I own a 90-minute DVD titled Ricky Nelson Greatest Hits, and it contains 28 music clips from the TV shows where he would be singing a song, usually towards the end of most episodes. Clearly, this type of weekly exposure helped with his record sales and corresponding success. One could consider these the forerunner of what we today call music videos. Now, here's another comment I'll make that's not in my typewritten notes. If you ever wondered who the background singers are on all of the famous Ricky Nelson hits, well, it's the same background singers that backed up Elvis Presley. It's the Jordanaires. All right, now in May 1961, when Ricky Nelson turned 21 years old, he changed his recording name to Rick Nelson. This led to a move more towards country music and what later became known as country rock with the Stone Canyon Band. So in October 1971 at New York's Madison Square Garden, there was an oldie show. These were one of the Ralph Nader shows that were very popular back then. And it starred Nelson along with early rock and roll legends Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley, and Bobby Rydell. He first sang a couple of his 50 hits and then moved to his new style by playing the Rolling Stones' Country Honk. That was a country version of their hit song, Honky Tonk Woman. All of a sudden, the crowd started booing. Now, most in the audience who were canvassed later said it was due to police activity with an unruly spectator. But Nelson had no way of knowing this, and he thought they were booing him. After another song, he left the stage and did not return for the final. Nelson wrote the song Garden Party, which was released in 1972. This was his last top 40 hit, reaching #6 on the Billboard charts. The song title references the concert at Madison Square Garden, and the lyrics tell what he felt took place. The reoccurring line says it all, and perhaps is a good life lesson. You see, you can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. In 1985, Nelson began a comeback tour and even changed his stage name back to Ricky. But that was short-lived as he died in a private plane crash, returning from a concert at the age of 45 on New Year's Eve that same year. So here is Ricky Nelson. Let me make one change as I usually do here. More.
Wow. Thanks, Ray. That's
Great
great.
memory.
Good.
Yeah, really well done. Yes, thanks. Thanks so much. Hey, it's the top of the hour. It is indeed. Thanks everyone for coming. It was a great show today. Wow. Thank you for all of you who contributed. It was really great. Of course, it's recorded, and later on today, it will be certainly on our YouTube channel. Now we're going to move into the question and answer period. Just to remember, though, if you have to leave, don't forget about our YouTube premiere segment. And what I was trying to remember when I had my little memory lapse there, Hewie, is you're going to be talking on EpoCam. Remember EpoCam with the iOS and the iPhones and using them as a camera.
Yep.
So that's on, as well as Dewey's going to be talking on Print Friendly, and I'll be talking on the Echo Show, and that will be coming on at 1:30 the hour. So for the next 20 minutes, we're going to open it up for question and answer. You know, the old routine at the bottom, you have the reactions button there, open that and just raise your hand. That brings you up to the top like Hewie just did, and we can answer you and see where you are. Hewie, comment, question?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, I put in the show chat the links from my session for the informed delivery in the US and for the My Mailbox and the FAQ page for the FAQ page for the Canadian version. And I also, Marcia's session was great. And if Marcia's still on, if when you set up all of the pictures in a particular folder, it gives a whole list and you got to put a checkbox. There's a checkbox. You have to click each one that you want to include. I do that for all of my presentations, and I'll take all of the pictures, screenshots and everything. And that's how I get them in. I create a photo album and then I copy and then bring them over to the PowerPoint that I'm going to use. That's already got some text and so on in it. Is there an easy way to click all of them? Because sometimes I may have 35 or 40 photos and you have to go and click each one separately. Do you know if there's a way to do all of them?
You mean to insert it into PowerPoint?
Yes.
Control A on Windows and Command A on a Mac?
Oh, okay. Never tried that.
Click one first and then do the controller Command A.
Okay, I'll try that.
And that works for, you know, almost anything, not just PowerPoint.
Yeah, I use it a lot, but I never had used it in that instance. I hadn't thought of it. Usually there's like a box that say click all and it clicks them all. So, okay, I'll try that. Thank you. It was great. That was a great presentation. And some of the things I use, but you gave me some other ideas too.
And Marcia, we look forward to part 2.
Oh, thank you.
Hint, hint.
Yes, I will do that.
Just let me know when you get it done, Doug. No hurry. But we will we'll certainly look forward to that. Any other questions? Now, let's. We don't have anybody who has any comments, questions, concerns.
We either did a really good job or a really poor job today. No questions at all.
No questions. Yeah, that's amazing. Huh.
I got one.
Jim, good for you. We'll give you Jim Glass first. Go ahead, Jim.
I'm using my Chromebook, and for some reason, I don't get any of those reactions at the bottom of the screen. And when I click on chat, there's no provision for save chat.
The controls, we talked about that before. I'm not sure about the saving chat, but the controls I think are a little bit different. I just don't have my Chromebook down here in the studio. I think it's on the right-hand side. Is that the, I just don't, I can't answer that right now, but.
Well, that should be where it is, but
yeah,
it's not there on the menu bar at all. All I have is participants, chat, share, and closed caption.
What I'll do for that is there's a really good video that's on there, Jim. I'll send it to you on using a Chromebook or using Zoom on your Chromebook, and it's got it all neatly outlined. I'll put that, I'll send it to you.
Okay, I'd appreciate it because
we'll
I really wanted to save some of the notes in the chat room and couldn't do it.
Yeah, we'll do that for you. Irving, go ahead.
Hi there. I had a question for Bob. I was wondering if he had any more information about the security breakdown here in Canada, in the province of Newfoundland, and the whole medical system almost slowed down.
Bob, did you have any comments on that? For those of you who don't know, well, you probably all know that in Canada, it's a public health system. So each province has usually a coordinated effort in storing their online data and it usually occurs from one single point rather than being in multiple services. And this, of course, is in Newfoundland, which they got hit by ransomware, I think it was last week, and that shut down the whole system for the whole province of Newfoundland, including, and of course, the ORs couldn't get access to the imaging, they couldn't get access to the lab, and the whole thing all got shut down. Emergencies, surgeries were canceled, all the hospitals closed down, everything and it was really a big deal. I don't know what the follow-up was of that, whether how they're going to deal with that, or it was a big news item for the first couple of days. Then it sort of, as news items go, it simply petered out. I don't know what the resolve of that is. Do you know, Irving?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't
either.
That it
Yeah.
comes back in the next.
It is a huge issue, it's a huge issue all over the world, but they seem to be targeting hospitals now in healthcare. So it is a really big problem, and society is going to have to do something about it. It is going to be a big problem, and I don't have an answer to that right now. But when you shut a whole healthcare system down in a province or a state, that's maybe we have to look at distributed systems where they're not all linked or something to be able to. But then, of course, that you lose the advantage of the connectivity with that. So don't know the answer to that. Maybe George, did you have a comment? George, I'm looking that you might. You're I can see the
Well,
wheels
it's just
moving.
that they said they were going to paper backups.
Oh, is that what they were doing? They were going to go to paper backup. Saying, okay, good whole paper. Right.
Well, we just gave a talk in our club about backups, and I said, at the bottom line, you better have a paper backup of the really, really, really vital stuff.
Yeah.
Do they not have a backup of the whole entire thing?
I don't know.
Well, I think they probably
usually with ransomware, that's where they get you. You're not following protocol, or you get lax on the protocol, and then when you get hit, you can't get to your data. And if you don't have a backup, then you're really up the creek without a paddle, and you don't have much of a choice. If you don't pay, you're not going to get access to that data until somebody breaks the encryption, which, if they're good at it, is never going to happen. So the end result is they'll wind up having to pay. And then maybe then they'll start doing their backups like they should.
Mm-hmm. Irving, does that answer your question? Is that okay? I mean, I don't have a lot more on that.
I appreciate the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It was very helpful.
Okay. Martha, go ahead.
But I haven't heard any more news to the effect
Right.
that it's been resolved.
Martha, go ahead. Martha Stratton. Martha, hello. Unmute yourself.
Unmute.
I guess I wasn't supposed to make the comment. I hope that's better. I've had a really bad experience with a USPS this year, and I don't know why or whatever happened, but it went on. It started evidently in June. In July, I had made, I had sent in my remote report that I'm supposed to do every so many months for the pacemaker remote here at home. Usually they send me a letter within a week that tells me the results and when I'm supposed to do the check again. Well, I hadn't, a week went by and like 2 weeks, and finally I called the medical office and they said, well, the letter we sent to you was sent back to us. And I thought, good grief. And then I've noticed, then after that, I noticed every once in a while, 2 or 3 days, maybe in a row, I would have absolutely no mail in my box. And it's hard to find out what happened and so forth. And I had seen some of the mail delivery people, and one time I went out when they were there. I've like you, some of the folks here, I live in a townhome, and so we have a community mailbox that's got probably 10 or 15 boxes in it. And the mail person told me that they had put a notice that my box was vacant and don't deliver to it. And whoever put that in there, I don't know, but it sure made a lot of mess. And I'm still having problems with receiving a lot of the mail. The only good thing about it, I didn't get any junk mail. So, but
Yes.
sometimes you need a few of those ads too. But I don't think it's still straightened out. And this is like 5-6 months later.
Right.
And it's been a really crazy experience. I went to the post office, talked to the supervisors there, and it's just a bad situation.
Do you think that what Hewie talked about today would be helpful because you'd be able to see it online? Do you think that might be helpful for you?
That's what I'm wondering, if that would be a good idea.
If the box is canceled,
if the box is closed, you're not going to get
right.
it. It
That's
sounds like you
correct.
might have been hit with some kind of identity theft, and you might want to check all of your accounts and all the places to make sure, because they may be somebody may have hijacked your mail and they're getting it, and then they are changing accounts and opening accounts in your name. So you might want to. I would check it a lot farther than just the post office.
Oh, well, I hadn't thought about that, but I am getting mail now. I have been getting most of my mail, but I have no idea how much I have missed. But I do know that there was a financial institution that they called me and they said, well, did you move or something? And so I think they got theirs back. And there was another one from another institution that I thought, what's going on? But it's been a weird experience for me. That's for sure.
You need to check your credit report and see if there's anything there.
Yep.
I have seen the credit reports and it seems to be stable. So I can't.
Recently?
Yes.
Sure you did it recently. That's right.
Yes, I had.
Yeah. Thanks, Martha. Gordy, comments?
Yeah, this is probably a question for Bob. Excuse me, Bob, I have an iPad Air 4. And today I was on a website for the Department of Motor Vehicles in Illinois. And all of a sudden my iPad had a Windows Defender message on it wanting me to call Microsoft and get help. I didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah. I quickly got on my laptop and did a Google search and found out it is a scam.
Yep.
But it locked up my iPad and I had to do a reboot, and that's
right.
Speed it up. But why would on an iPad would a scam be there about Windows Defender, which is Windows?
You need to ask the people that sent it to you. I mean, it's kind of stupid. You know, anybody who's on an iPad certainly isn't going to respond to something that says contact Microsoft.
Yeah.
You may have been on a bogus website.
Yep.
And it was an automated pop-up, because by most situations, you would have been on a Microsoft machine and then you would have responded to it. And that's what they were hoping for. But most likely you did a search and you clicked on the website and you weren't on the real motor vehicle website. You were on a spoofed one.
Spoofed. Yep.
Look-alike. Okay. That's possible. All right.
All right. Thanks, Gordy. Ivana, go ahead. Unmute yourself, Ivana.
I've just figured out how to save chat, and Dick Vogel just wrote in chat, when you want to send a message, there's to everyone or whatever, there's 3 dots. If you click on the 3 dots, it says save chat.
And you can save your chat. Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you on a Chromebook?
No, I'm on a Windows.
Okay. The question asked was for somebody on a Chromebook.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Well, yes, and it's a little bit different, but we'll, yeah. Thanks for pointing that out, and you can, so everyone can save their chat. If you're,
I never knew how.
Yeah, just click the button and it'll save it. And then thanks a lot, Hewie. Do you have a final comment or question?
I do. I have a question for Bob. Bob, in your report, you mentioned about the FBI in Detroit had arrested 2 people. One was, I think, Estonia, and one was Lithuania.
Yep.
And they were put in jail. Where were they put in jail? Here in the U.S. or in
Correct.
their respective countries?
No, here.
So they got them here somehow, or they were here and
They were here. They were here.
Okay.
Otherwise, they never would have gotten them.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
curious.
No, they
on
were
that.
here.
Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, that Apple Watch. Do you know when it's likely to have that blood glucose monitoring?
That's a very good question. We know that the company that makes the sensor is complete. Like they have done it, and they're waiting. And Apple has released the specifications for what do they call it? They released the specifications for their next watch, which will include that. So we are all, but nobody really knows, right? I mean, but the technology is all there. But it looks as though the Apple Watch 8 will have a glucose monitor in it. That is all the information that's there so far. But we don't know that, we won't know that for a while, right? But that is
to something like the Dexcom sensor.
No. This is the sensor will do this as a bloodless, fluidless technology.
Yeah, I just wondered if it was going to be any more accurate, or is it going to be way off, or
no, it should be. It'll have to be FDA approved. It's got to go through all the regulatory bodies. It's got to have FDA approval. It'll be a medical class 2 medical device. So I don't have any doubts that it will be absolutely accurate, or it just won't occur. But that testing is already being done. And so it is just incorporating it into a watch. Now, one of the things I've always thought about is I'm not even sure that the Apple Watch is the best device for it to be in. Maybe a separate wrist strap or some sort of separate device rather than actually incorporate into a watch would be better. I'm just not sure, and it is going to make a big change to Apple. First of all, they like to bring out watches once a year and, change a lot and do this, that, and the other thing. But once this gets incorporated, it is going to be a big deal for Apple. Of course, they'll sell a lot of watches, but it is going to become a sort of a standard treatment for diabetes. And, the medical system doesn't like to change each year. So, they may be doing themselves a bit of a disservice on this because, I'm not sure how this is all going to work out for them. Anyway, we'll see what happens, but it looks as though that it is slated for the next release, and the technology is there. It's all being done. Everything's done.
Is it going to be able to be coordinated with insulin pumps?
Good question. I doubt initially. I think that certainly would be something that would be coming, but whether that would be in the initial release, I think Apple tends to like to get it right, and so they'll probably sort of choose the middle of the road, easy to do stuff, and sort of get it out there. I think to start with.
Will that not also depend on the insulin pump itself as to whether
sure,
or not?
and the interfaces and how that all works. Yeah, and all that works. Yeah, that'll all be there. But that's coming. Lots of exciting things coming for sure. Yeah, and I expect that we'll see one of the Android watches also will be going with that as well. So that's for sure. So it looks as though, and all the rumors that, there were rumors about the 7, right? And we all thought it was going to come, and it didn't. But it should be here with the 8. which will be a big deal. And I can write lots more videos about that. That's great. It's going to be like an endless supply. You guys are going to get tired
and
about
a lot of your
diabetes
friends might be out of
videos.
business too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and just to remind everybody, if you want to talk about robotic vacuums, which is my other passion, I'll be on the Michael Daniels show this Wednesday, and I'm talking on robotic vacuums. So that's going to be there. It is now 20 minutes past the hour. I think we're gonna call it as a wrap. Please take some time and have a little break, and then don't forget our premiere service starts in 10 minutes. So enjoy your day, and we'll see everybody back in a week's time. Or if you want to come and talk about technology of the week, come on Thursday, 9 o'clock.
Don't forget Thursday, just because we skipped last week.
Yeah, just because we only skipped one
Yeah.
week. So we're all going to be there to talk about all those articles, and Bob and Hewie and I and everyone, as Bill's been posting like crazy. So there's all sorts of really good tech talks we're going to talk about this coming Thursday.
I don't want to have to talk to myself on another Thursday. I had enough of that last week.
So there you go. So we're gonna have lots of fun on Thursday. So come and have a listen, and otherwise we'll see you same time. And watch for on Sunday. I'll try and get a little promotion out on what we're gonna do on Monday. Have a look at that and see what you guys think.
And,
All right.
and Sunday on the Windows Special Interest Group, go to hewie.net and sign up for my newsletter so you get notice. If you're already signed up for it, you'll get an update with the link, or a reminder of the link. Bill James is going to talk about Windows 11, and I'm going to be talking about Windows 10 and a whole bunch of other stuff as well.
And that is your award-winning newsletter, right?
That's correct.
That is your award-winning newsletter.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you
Bye-bye.
next week.